to be pulled out to the waves. It's seen as a dishonest shortcut, like someone who is trying to climb a mountain using a helicopter. Gotcha. And he is famous for always paying a jet ski to go tow him out whenever he goes skiing. And I just found that really interesting.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, so to this Jacobin Mag article, it says CEO Adam Neumann tried a few things before getting into real estate, including a collapsible woman's shoe and baby clothes with padded knees.
So wait,
don't
sandals
babies already have padded knees?
Wait, so he had sandals to start with. And babies had padded knees? Okay. All right.
So eventually, though, he was struck by genius. What if, bear with me now, he purchased some real estate, then actually broke it up into smaller spaces, and then rented out those spaces at a profit. After selling his first company based on this groundbreaking model, Neumann launched WeWork in 2010 in Manhattan. With initial investments from commercial real estate and venture capital, the company blew up and up and up. So we're talking about someone here who is a pro at reinventing the wheel. Essentially, it's like no new ideas. It's like, get out of here with these new ideas, man. Bring me a way to do the same thing that everyone's already doing, but just make it
so
cooler.
much spin. It's so much spin. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's so much spin. It's ridiculous.
Right. So it goes on to say, the idea was relatively simple. What if offices? But disruption. Essentially, the company bought up some of the most expensive real estate in the world.
Yeah.
In some of the most expensive cities in the world.
Yeah.
And gave them a nice millennial once-over. Now, I resent that. Come on. Not all millennials want to be fueled by good vibes and pithy quotes and stuff, right? But
live,
anyway,
laugh, love, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Live, laugh, love, bro. Good vibes only.
Have you tried this new kombucha, bro?
Oh my God.
It's awesome, bro. Have you tried the new kombucha, bro?
With the acai bowl?
With the acai?
And the kale smoothie?
But yeah, that was what the WeWork offices were like. So, dude, take your mind to a situation where, this guy buys up stuff and he essentially cuts them up into smaller pieces, and then he sells each unit, or he rents out each unit for a profit. You see what I mean? So
it's called being a landlord.
It's called being a landlord, exactly.
It's existed since the beginning of capitalism and feudalism.
Right. Exactly. So it says, the look, mid-century.
Oh my God. Kombucha. I find that so strange that we grew up with that idea of like, you know what? You need to find something you're passionate about and then just work all the time. And it's like, oh yeah, this is great. I don't know, man. It was. Yeah. Work you're doing. Yeah. No, it sounds like self brainwashing. It's like, this is not work. I'm just doing labor, but it's not work. And it's like, okay. Oh God. And I bought into this for like the longest time too. I bought into this stuff for the longest time. Oh,
there was this meme on Instagram. I think I shared that with you a couple of weeks ago or so, where one voice said, "What is your dream job?" and the other voice said,
"I do not dream of labor.
I do not dream of labor."
Yeah. I think that's the biggest issue we're running into right now, which is that I read this years and years ago, that the ultimate goal of humanity is to innovate to the point where humans can be free to do whatever they want to do and not be obliged to merely survive. And every time we seem to make technological progress, we're like, no, we must keep artificially creating ways that people are obliged to survive.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So let's talk about, just how much money was coming in and all that. So it says that SoftBank invested in WeWork in 2017, right? And that sent the company global, right?
Dear listeners, despite the name, SoftBank is not... It's a pretty intense entity.
They're a serious player.
They're a serious player. They are not soft. They're a Japanese company that is a huge player internationally.
Exactly. So they invested $8 billion in 2017 and another $2 billion. And this is billion with a B in both cases in 2019, right? And that doubled their valuation.
B as in Bob or BB.
As in Bob or Bibi, right? Or the middle of Sibel. All right. And that moved their valuation up to $47 billion, a number that the absolute bare minimum of bar napkin math would have exposed as widely overvalued.
Oh my God, dude. Right? I love the Forbes article on this, because the Forbes article just came out with hands, like off the bat.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It says
the most ridiculous IPO, right?
Yeah. Can I please quote the Forbes article? It says, WeWork has copied an old business model, i.e. office leasing. Slapped some tech lingo on it and suckered venture capital investors into valuing the firm at more than 10 times its nearest competitor. Also, may I say, I find it really annoying that instead of saying times, people have started saying 10x, which makes why? Anyways, 10 times its nearest competitor. The company also burns tons of cash, carries huge risk factors in a recession, and sports some of the worst corporate governance practices we've ever seen. WeWork is in the danger zone.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, did you ever watch Archer?
I have been compared to Archer a few times. I will have you know.
Oh, dude.
Mostly by myself.
Lana.
Mostly by myself. But yes. Which I think is still in the spirit.
That is problematic. That is problematic. No, but he is the greatest spy in the world.
No, but it is very much in the spirit of Archer to compare yourself to Archer.
He tells himself that he's the greatest spy. Yeah.
The narcissism involved.
Yeah. Dude, so let's go inside, what WeWork actually looked like. So in less than 10 years, WeWork spaces covered the entire globe, and despite hemorrhaging money, their valuation soared. Meanwhile, WeWork CEO Adam Neumann had been busy trying to build a literal empire so decadent that it makes Wolf of Wall Street antics look like a 2-martini business lunch. Wow, this article is brutal. Neumann became famous for demanding his employees do shots of $140 a bottle Don Julio tequila with him during interviews, staff meetings, and at the mandatory hour-long team building exercises called, of course, Thank God It's Monday. He boasted that he worked 20-hour days and hid employees during public appearances so the company looked leaner. Oh my goodness. He would insist he needed no support staff for overseas work, change his mind, and then fly out assistants to London for 6 hours of work before sending them right back to New York.
Oh my God. I heard about things where he was like, apparently WeWork used to have unlimited beer at their office. And
yeah,
then
on tap, all the time.
And then they changed that rule to only 4 beers at the office per day.
What a downgrade.
What a downgrade.
How about no beers?
No beers at the office. Or at least a 5 p.m. rule. I mean, something, man. Something. And then secondly, apparently people who were wanting to have like an in-person meeting would be obliged to get onto 6-hour flights and sit next to him.
Right.
And sometimes during the flight,
it's a power move, bro.
He wouldn't talk to them the entire 6-hour flight.
It's called nagging at high altitudes.
And then as soon as they'd get off they'd get off the flight, he would just leave. He would just fly them. Can you imagine that? Someone just flies you to the other side of a continent, maybe an ocean, and then
private,
is like,
of course,
private, and then is like,
private, of course. Gas up the company jet.
Yeah,
there's room. Yeah, bro.
Bye.
Sit there, bro.
No. I don't think anyone else got the company. Oh, and then he had a Maybach, and he would just drive around in his Maybach, and he would conduct meetings in there. And then when he was done in the meetings, he would tell the person to get out the car and go sit in the Chrysler that was following his Maybach.
Wow.
Dude, this guy.
He was, you know what I think? I think he's not a crazy guy, but I think in Silicon Valley too often, right? There's the myth that the truly genius people are eccentric people. So you find even people without natural eccentricities trying to do the most ridiculous stuff so that people can say, oh, he's an eccentric, because eccentricity has now been, equated to genius, right? So I think most of these things are just antics, right? From my judgment of this guy, I've never met the guy. Again, I'm just a social commentator who has no actual involvement or experience of this subject. But I'm just saying, he strikes me as someone who he knows better, he can do better, but he's trying to create the myth, the legend, the man, Adam Neumann. You know what I mean? You see where I'm going there? So that his reputation, his aura, his legend will be larger than life. And that is something that people can bank on. People bank on personalities in Silicon Valley and Wall Street all the time.
Yeah, I think
so. People get a pass on.
He definitely. I think he leaned into it, but I don't think it was something new.
He leaned into it.
I don't think it's something new. I think he just got an excuse to do it. I mean,
I
think he had an excuse to do it. I think he got an excuse to do it.
It says he was walking around New York City barefoot. During office hours, he drank and smoked weed constantly. After office hours, he trashed his own co-working spaces. Dude, this is not... I honestly think he was doing all this stuff because he wanted the attention. He wanted stories told about him. That was his ultimate goal. Beyond the money, beyond everything else, he wanted the power that came with being an enigma. It's like, ooh, no one knows. Adam's crazy, bro. No one knows what he's going to do next. Adam's crazy.
Yeah, okay. I think he wanted the enigma. I think he wanted the celebrity. But
exactly.
I don't know if I would say he had the self-awareness or even the care to.
I honestly think he did. Meanwhile, the company was expanding into gyms. Rise by We. That's what they call the gyms. Rise by We. And apartments. We Live. A fully furnished studio near Wall Street would run you $3,050. Right? Newman envisioned a We Bank.
Is this an apartment for 30? I mean, that's pretty standard as far as New York, I think.
Well, I would say. A seasteading WeWork called WeSail and insisted that WeWork Mars is in our pipeline.
Oh my God.
Although by his own account, he failed to woo fellow intergalactic space god Elon Musk into a business partnership.
I had more details about this. Yeah. So he gets a meeting with Musk.